Hello, I'm Bonita and I am the artist and creator at Teacup Girl. Welcome back to my studio. This week we are going to jump right in with a studio vlog. So we have a little bit of time travel this week because I started the week by just filming some clips of work that I was getting on with and doing, and I forgot to film an intro. So here it is, the end of the week. It's actually Saturday and I'm filming the intro and doing some more work in my studio. But I do have one big thing that I kind of need to address, which is the hair. So I was like in two minds about whether or not I should even talk about this, because I'm like, who wants to hear about my hair? I gave myself a trim and a dye job yesterday because I had split ends upon split ends and I really needed to get rid of them. Because I have these clips where I clearly have a different hairstyle or hairdo than what I am currently sporting, I thought that I would kind of have to address it, otherwise it's going to be really weird. I don't know. Anyway, totally fascinating and scintillating content for your entertainment purposes, of course. Talking about my hair. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's kind of one of those things where you're just like, well, I don't know. Anyway, because I'm not even sure that is an interesting intro and that anybody new to my vlogs are going to be like, oh yes, I totally want to watch this person. I am going to try to jump into it and get on with the rest of the clips. So let's roll forward to the beginning of this week and I will see you at the end. Hello, I'm just popping in. It is Monday let me check the date. Monday the 26th of September today. And let's see, what have I done today? I have basically masked acrylics, shuffled files around, and tried to organize some stuff. So I've been organizing my acrylic shelf out in the garage because things are rather messy out there and it's been actually literally driving me insane. I hate trying to create through mess. So the process is such that when I am working, I'm trying to pull out these sheets of acrylics, but I can't find them. I know I have them, and then I start to doubt myself because I can't find them, and it just turns into this big thing that kind of melts my brain and really obstructs my creative process. So being in the middle of designing another collection, I needed to have that sorted. But right now I'm using my little Nimbot, which is this thermal label printer that I bought to label my shelves. And I'm just going to print that out and get on with that task because, oh my goodness, it's about time I got this organized. I really like this little printer because it just uses an app like this. You basically type in whatever you want and then you just print it out. I'll show you. I'm not sponsored, by the way. This is not a sponsored post. I just bought this and thought it was nifty. I also like the type of label that it prints because it works really well for the wooden shelves that I use, and I'll show you all of that in just a minute. I'm just going to shrink the font size because it's too big and make sure that fits. And let me get my little bot so you can see what happens. Let me press print. Ta-da! I have a little label. I think that this is the niftiest little thing ever. I've really been enjoying the organization process of this. I think it was reasonably expensive for the first purchase. Might have been around about $60, but it was like $30 for the machine and then $15 for 2 extra rolls of labels, I think. So I thought it turned out reasonably okay and I didn't mind paying that, and I've been using it a fair amount, so I think it was worth it. I don't know if you can find other cheaper thermal label printers. I know that they are very popular and there's a lot of them around, so I don't think it really matters what one you get. I just like the size of the label on this one, and you'll see why in a minute. Alright, I'm going to keep printing because I need more labels. Right, so in my garage I've started to do a bit more of organization to help us with our system because we're having a lot of trouble making sure that everything is clear and understandable and that our system is efficient. What I've got up here are all of the sheets that are kind of in progress. So as you can see, there's like clearly pieces that have been cut out of these, and we've decided to organize them in Roy GB, which is basically the rainbow color. We start with gray blacks over here, then we move to our browns. We've got these little labels, and this is what I was saying, how I like my little Nimbot label printer, because this label is literally the perfect size for fitting on this shelf. I haven't quite got the print calibrated to the middle of the label yet, but honestly, I kind of don't care as long as it works and we can read the labels, which we can, so we're good. I'm really happy with this organization system so far. I like this color system, it makes the most sense for me, because when I'm thinking about an acrylic, usually the first thing I think of is the color and then what kind of acrylic it is after. So red marble, green solid, or green frosted, or something like that. So it's always color first and then type in my brain, and so this facilitates that really well. Down the bottom here is our acrylic library. It's not everything, because these shelves are already quite stacked full, as you can see. We do have a little bit of bowing. It's a little bit hard to tell on camera, but this shelf is dipping in the middle here, and I am a little concerned about putting more acrylic sheets on this, because acrylic is actually really heavy. Let me grab my tape measure. About 10 centimeters of acrylic actually happens to be roughly 20 kilos. So hang on, I'm trying to do this one-handed. 10 centimeters of acrylic, that's that much, is about 20 kilos. And so I've calculated that on this shelf, I think we have about 80 kilos worth of acrylic, which is actually well and truly over the recommended limit for this shelving system. However, it hasn't broken yet. So we're just kind of sticking with it. Oh, this one's crooked. I hate that. Let me fix it. This is what I was doing this morning. I was organizing all the different types into their different sections. So we've got our solids. This is very mixed up because there are 3 different types of solid acrylic. There's solid, naturals, desserts, and a bunch of other stuff. But I've put them all in here for now because it's fairly easy to tell the colors apart and be able to pick out the one you need. Then we've got a small section of iridescent acrylics. We've got neons. We've got our marbles. We have our chunky glitters. We have our specialty glitters here, which is like stuff like this. And then over here we have our petals acrylic, and then we have further specialties, which is stuff like the tortoise shell and this gold and pearl one. Then we have like all our solid whites and clears, and then we have our thins acrylic, which is this stuff which is really cool and bends. Now down the bottom, that was what I was printing the labels out for earlier. I have not labeled those sections yet, so I'm going to do that now. The final shelf reads like, and I think I've got all the different types of acrylic listed now, which I'm really pleased about. That should look good. Yeah, for organization. Woo! Hello. Welcome to the voiceover section of this vlog. I am really excited to be working on this new design that I have on my desk right now. It's called Mushroom Magic, and it's a variation on the Mushroom Munchies theme. We have some mushrooms and a cute little caterpillar munching his way through the top of them. I started with this kind of ordinary, I say with air quotations, brown mushroom design, and to be honest, I had a lot of fun picking out the different colors for this design. I think the colorway turned out pretty cute because I love how realistic these mushrooms look. They're also made with soft touch matte acrylics, which means they have this really silky surface, which I've got to say is just a lot of fun to kind of sit there and stroke with your finger. So yeah, I might get distracted on that every once in a while. And then while I was doing this piece, obviously I couldn't forget about my caterpillar. He's a really important component to the design, but sadly to say, he turned out to be a massive obstacle because I just couldn't figure out what colors I wanted to use for him. So I have like literally a bajillion different caterpillar bodies scattered all over my desk in all the different types of acrylic and all the different types of textures with all the different kinds of details. I ended up adding stripes and spots and dots and whatnot, and none of that worked. I didn't like any of it, so I was really struggling to figure out what I should do. Then I went ahead and made a second colorway. That's a smart idea, isn't it? Well, actually, it turns out that it was a smart idea because the way that this second colorway turned out actually gave me hope for the first one. I went with kind of Alice in Wonderland, psychedelic vibes, little bit of, oops, I accidentally ingested some of these mushrooms. So everything's looking a little funky with its blue and purples and things like that. I just think it turned out really well though, so I was quite happy with that, and it gave me the courage to keep pushing on with the first one and helped me figure out that yes, this design is cute and it is worth continuing with.
I also did decide to make a stripped down version of the mushrooms, so it's going to just have a little less of the elements to it. Only 2 mushrooms and a caterpillar rather than all the leaf details added on, and this version will be offered for a lower price point because it's smaller and less complicated to put together. But I think these pieces are really fun. Let me know what you think, eh?
Good morning, guys. Oh my gosh. Today is Tuesday, the 27th of September. I should actually try to talk a little bit more before talking. Apparently, I am sounding heckin' crusty this morning. Woo, we love that. Also, speaking of love, do we love my t-shirt? I couldn't resist. 1, I'm an Animal Crossing fan and Isabella's the best. And 2, when you're working for yourself and you're wearing snarky shirts about how much your boss sucks, yeah, it's a bit of fun. So yes, I should actually probably jump into this, and I am still working on some new designs. I am actually getting very frustrated because my little mushroom brooch that you saw me working on yesterday is not coming together the way I need it to. I feel like there might be something wrong either with the shape of the caterpillar that I need to change, because even though I'm pulling colors for the caterpillar body that I think should work, when I put them into the piece they don't work, and I don't know why yet. So I think I'm going to have to go back and recut this and change the design slightly, because something about the balance of this piece is not working, and I feel like it's the shape of the caterpillar or the position of the caterpillar. So that kind of sucks. Thought this piece was almost finished. It is not. But there always has to be one. There always has to be one super complicated, annoying piece in the collection, and it turns out it's this one today. Before I get stuck back into my caterpillar madness and mushroom madness, I'm actually going to do a new version of the summer clock. Yes, we have a recolorway coming, and I'm excited to show you that. So I'm going to clear my desk of caterpillars and mushrooms and get started with that. Let's get into it. Okay, so update at the end of the week. It is now Saturday, the 1st of October. It's the 1st of October. Oh my gosh, it's the 1st of October. Help. I cannot believe how quickly time is going at the moment. Anyway, let me concentrate because I actually do have to do some work. I got this acrylic in the mail the other day. Like, oh my goodness. This is so pretty. I could die. I think it's going to help me solve some problems that I have with my current mushroom brooch. So this one here that we were looking at the beginning of the week, it's giving me a lot of grief. I cannot find the right color for the caterpillar, and I think it might be because these pale leaves are throwing off possible color choices that I can use. I'm not sure if that's entirely the issue, but what I want to do is try and substitute the pale leaves for this rich green and see what kind of difference it makes. I think it will help a lot. Plus, these are supposed to be nighttime mushrooms, and to be honest, like, the color palette of the leaves to me looks very daytime right now. And I think that with this change, I might be able to actually help my problems of the silly mushrooms not being what I want them to be. So I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to do that today, to be honest. I probably should. I'm going to be real with you for a second here, guys. I'm actually absolutely exhausted and completely burnt out. I do not want to work on more new designs at all. I've been pushing really, really hard. I've been pushing myself to make new designs, come up with some stuff that's like really interesting and fun and different. And a lot of it has required me to really have to sit down and think about like technique and how I'm building the pieces and what is going to go into the process of making them. For instance, that infamous octopus shaker bottle brooch, which, here's a sample. So this one took quite a bit of thinking because I had a very specific idea and a very specific thing that I wanted to achieve. So I got this one done, and even before that, it was the Jolly Garden bouquet. There's one lying around here. With this one just being a pain in the butt in terms of like the proportion and the color palette and everything like that. And I have been going really, really hard at this all year. And it's just really hard right now. I'm going to be totally honest with you. My business is not doing so well. Things are really difficult. I am trying to keep my studio afloat. I am trying to keep my staff employed because we've built a really good team here and I love the people I work with. And you know, we've done so much together and it's been really, really good, but I am struggling to keep everything moving. And I'm really, really struggling. Like, I'm sure everybody is. And like, this is the thing, like, I can't sit and think about this too long and go, oh my gosh, woe is me, poor me. I'm trying really hard at my business and, you know, things aren't working. Everybody has that issue. Like, let's be real. Right now, everyone has that issue. We are in the middle of like a financial downturn, a global depression, and it's not easy for anybody right now. So I find it very difficult to talk about this in terms of my struggles because I don't want to come across as entitled or like, you know, not being grateful for what I do have, because I have a lot. And I am grateful for all of the support that I've received over the years from my family and then from my Teacup Girl customers and fans. You guys are amazing. But I'm not going to lie, things are really tough right now and I am struggling to keep everything going. I don't want to work on new designs right now. I don't want to release new pieces. I don't want to do any of that. I think if I'm completely honest with myself, it's because I know that they're not going to get the reception that I need them to have, and I am not going to get the return on my time for the work that I'm putting in. I'm not paying myself, by the way, guys. I've gone a year without any sort of income to myself personally. And my family personally from Teacup Girl. It's all going into keeping this business afloat and paying people. And that's tough. I wouldn't mind that so much if it wasn't so hairy, if the margins weren't so tight on the actual business side of things as well. Like, I would really love to be able to afford an accountant right now because I cannot do the bookkeeping. And that is causing its own set of issues. Like, most small businesses have problems with like tax returns and BAS statements and payroll and making sure everything like that is like the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and everything like that. So I shouldn't be so surprised that it's such a big deal. And I'm not surprised. I'm just stressed about it, to be honest. I'm stressed about that. But it's just really tough right now. I don't even know if I will include this clip in the video because it's hard to be vulnerable like this. It weighs pretty heavily on me because I don't, like I said, want to come across as being ungrateful or making people feel like I don't understand that they have their own issues and problems and circumstances and everything like that, because I do. I get it. I get that we are all in this horribly kind of crashing and burning and sinking boat together. So I don't want to ever take what I have for granted. But at the same time, I'm trying to keep what I have alive. And that's really hard because it's not going well right now. Yeah, it's not going well right now. So last vlog, I think I mentioned that I had some personal stuff going on. I do still have that, although it's not to the extent. But I think what's weighing on me more than that right now is the Teacup Girl stuff, and the fact that if I'm not really careful, my business is going to go under, and I don't know how to stop that from happening, because it's not doing fun, new, cool designs. It's not coming up with exciting pieces, and that's all I know how to do. That's all I know how to do. I only know how to design. I don't know how to keep a business going in an economic crisis. I mean, who does? What small business owner really does know how to do that? And as an artist, of course, that's the first thing that people get rid of. It's a luxury. Like art, as much as we need it for our souls, and I truly do believe it is something necessary for life, it is also a luxury. It's a thing that you only truly get, when society is happy and everybody is at a good place. That is when art and creativity blossoms. And I hate that, because I think when we're going through these sad and tough times, we should have some joy to fall back on. But I get it, because you need to put food on the table. You need to pay for the roof over your heads. And that's all I'm trying to do too. I'm just trying to keep that going for myself and for the people that I employ. That is probably where I'll end this discussion for now, because there's not much more to say. I've pretty much said everything I can about it. There's not much more I can do. I just have to buckle up and put my best efforts into keeping everything moving forward. And that means designing even when I don't want to. It means putting out art even when it's really, really hard and I can't face it, but I have to. I don't know if it's going to help. And maybe it won't. But I'm going to keep pushing forward. Because that's all I can do. One step at a time. So, yeah. That's that. Alrighty guys, I'm going to wrap the vlog up for today. Thank you so much for watching if you made it to the end. I hope you didn't mind the part in the discussion where I got a bit real. Like I mentioned, I always struggle to know whether or not to include these kinds of clips in my vlogs. I know that I definitely appreciate the honesty and vulnerability that I see other artists on YouTube share, and I guess I kind of wanted to let other people know if they're struggling that they're not alone. And even though everything on social medias can always seem so hunky-dory, it's easy to get a false impression of other people's lives. It's not the case. We truly all have our own battles and struggles to go through. If you are feeling like you are alone in your struggle, I am sorry to hear that, and I hope that you can feel a little bit like you're not alone, and that even though life is tough, we can get through it. We'll do it. I am going to keep going. I'm going to do my Midnight Garden release that's coming up, and I just have to keep the ball rolling. So my philosophy at the moment currently is to do one thing at a time, one step at a time, and just keep moving forward, because after all, if I don't move forward, all I'm going to do is just die. So we've got to keep walking forward, got to keep pushing on, and I'm going to do that, and then going to wrap up the vlog now and say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate any comment, like, or subscribe that you leave the channel or this video. It does make a difference to my channel and hopefully to my studio one day. So thank you for that. You're awesome. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Whoop.